Probably many of you have heard a little bit about what is happening at our institution, but I just want to take a moment now to provide you with some history and some context. As I suspect most of you heard recently, the Duville administration announced last week that our commencement address would be given by an artificial intelligence robot. The students, many of whom did not have the experience of a high school graduation due to the pandemic lockdown, were understandably upset and started a petition. The faculty I represent were also somewhat angered by this decision, which we only learned of at the time of its public announcement. But for faculty members, what we see as a misguided attempt to garner publicity during graduation is really only the tip of the iceberg, the latest and most public example of a culture that has become normal at Duville. There are many other egregious examples of mismanagement that one might cite, but I'm not here today to talk to you broadly about these issues at the institution. The example that matters the most to me, and the reason I'm speaking to you today, is the administration's failure to bargain in good faith and reach an agreement with faculty after more than 3 years at the table. Our previous contract expired on September 1st, 2021. Since that time, faculty have worked without a raise under the terms of the previous contract. Since, as I'm sure you're aware, we've seen double-digit inflation since faculty last received an increase in salary. We are falling dramatically behind as the cost of living continues to rise, and it is hard to overestimate the kind of social and economic impact, the impact on families of that kind of wage suppression, not to mention the realities of what it does to retaining faculty and recruiting new faculty. I think every educator in the room can agree with me that the working conditions of faculty and all educators are the learning conditions of students. The two things cannot be separated. An overworked, underpaid, demoralized, and disaffected faculty member cannot be expected to deliver the high-quality education we promise and that our students deserve. In short, faculty and librarians are the backbone of the university at Duville and of any university. We perform the essential function of education. We deserve then a contract that allows us to do our jobs well and that shows respect for the dignity and humanity of the faculty and librarians I represent and the work we do. Unfortunately, as I mentioned before, there's a pattern here at Duville, and we've seen the Duville administration has not bargained in good faith. In fact, we feel that they are actively working against an agreement. In February, the two sides seemed to reach agreement on almost every issue, with only minor disagreements remaining. Most of the agreements reached amounted to concessions on the part of the union. Yet, at the end of February, the administration decided to bring a regressive salary proposal to the table. We cannot see how moving backwards in this fashion could possibly be a good faith bargaining tactic. In any event, it represents an extreme form of anti-union animus on the part of our administration, which has frankly acted to retaliate and intimidate frequently. Duville faculty, however, have no intention of taking all this lying down. We know that our students deserve better. We know that we deserve better, that all the stakeholders in Duville deserve better. Duville University is an anchor institution on the west side of Buffalo, and it's a major and valuable source of education for the future healthcare professionals of Western New York and even the state as a whole. It cannot be destroyed by a small group of misguided decision makers. Rather, I urge you to show your solidarity with us, to stand with us as we demand better for Duville and as we demand a fair contract for our faculty. For everyone in the room, if and when you interact with President Lori Clemo or anyone else representing Duville University, please emphasize to them that it is critical that faculty and librarians have a fair contract. That faculty know this and strongly desire an end to the negotiations process, and that in order for that to happen, the university needs to present a salary proposal that faculty and librarians can support and ratify. The university simply cannot function effectively without faculty and other dedicated staff who feel supported and valued by their administration. Reaching a fair contract and putting an end to the current conflict is necessary to take care of the institution and the students we serve for today and for the future ahead. Also, just because Fred mentioned it previously, the reality of higher education demands that we take seriously these coming difficulties and that we act for stability, not for conflict and instability. So what can you do today? Number one, show your solidarity by signing our online petition. You should have seen it at registration. Number two, spread the word on social media. And number three, and most importantly, and especially up here at the front of the room, when you see President Clemo or other representatives of DUVO, ask the tough questions. Why, after 3 years, haven't you reached an agreement with faculty and librarians? What is preventing this institution from offering a fair salary proposal that will take care of the institution into the future? Speaking on behalf of DUVO faculty and librarians, we know that our strength comes from solidarity, and so we thank you for your time and support.